Welcome to our journey toward eco-friendly commuting. Did you know that transportation is one of the largest sources of carbon emissions, contributing to 29% of the total in the US? Shocking, right? But there's good news. We can all make a difference with our daily commutes. Imagine reducing your carbon footprint by switching to greener options. For example, just one electric car can save about 1.5 million grams of CO2 each year. That's like planting 60 trees. And did you know that 10% of urban trips made by bike could cut CO2 emissions by 10 million tons annually? In this series, we'll explore 6 amazing eco-friendly commuting options that are better for the planet and for you. From the health benefits of cycling to the financial savings of ride-sharing, each chapter is packed with tips, strategies, and surprising facts. Whether you're a city dweller or live in the suburbs, there's something here for everyone. So, ready to make a positive change? Join us as we dive into the world of sustainable commuting and discover how you can travel green and save green. Let's get started. Chapter 1. Pedal Power. Cycling your way to a greener future. Cycling isn't just a hobby, it's a powerful way to reduce your carbon footprint. Did you know that if just 10% of urban trips were made by bike instead of car, CO2 emissions could drop by nearly 10 million tons annually? That's the equivalent of planting 150 million trees. Biking is also a fantastic way to stay fit. Riding a bike burns about 400,750 calories per hour. Plus, it's a lot more fun than a treadmill, right? E-bikes are a great option if you have a longer commute or hilly terrain to tackle. They provide pedal assistance, making the ride easier and less sweaty. In cities like Copenhagen, 62% of residents commute by bike daily. Imagine if we could replicate that enthusiasm elsewhere. Investing in good quality gear, like a comfortable seat and reliable helmet, can make your biking experience more enjoyable. And don't forget about visibility. Bright lights and reflective gear are crucial, especially if you're riding in the dark. Bike sharing programs are popping up everywhere, making it easier than ever to give cycling a try without buying a bike. Programs in cities like New York and Paris have seen millions of rides since launching. If you're nervous about navigating busy streets, consider taking a cycling safety course. Many local bike shops and community centers offer them. A good strategy is to plan your route in advance. Apps like Google Maps and Strava can help you find the safest and most efficient paths. Remember, you don't need to bike the entire way. Combining cycling with public transport can also be a great option. Many buses and trains now have bike racks. Cycling to work can also save you money. The average cost of owning and maintaining a car is about $9,000 a year. Compare that to the minimal costs of maintaining a bike, and you've got yourself some serious savings. Plus, fewer cars on the road mean less traffic congestion for everyone. Another tip is to dress in layers. Weather can be unpredictable, so being prepared can make your ride more comfortable. Also, keeping your bike well maintained is key. Regularly check your tires, brakes, and chain to ensure a smooth and safe ride. And don't forget to lock your bike properly to prevent theft. A sturdy U-lock is often the best choice. Chapter 2. Ride-sharing revolution, the new carpooling craze. Ride-sharing is changing the way we think about commuting. With apps like Uber and Lyft, it's easier than ever to share rides with others headed in the same direction. This not only saves money but also reduces the number of cars on the road. Studies show that ride-sharing can reduce traffic congestion by up to 30%. One great thing about ride-sharing is the flexibility it offers. Unlike traditional carpooling, you don't need to have a set schedule. You can find a ride anytime, anywhere. Plus, splitting the cost with fellow riders makes it more affordable. In many cities, ride-sharing has become a popular alternative to owning a car. Using ride-sharing services can also help reduce parking problems. In urban areas, finding a parking spot can be a nightmare. By sharing a ride, you avoid the hassle and cost of parking. This is especially useful for commuters who work in busy city centers. Did you know that carpooling can save the average commuter about $600 a year in fuel costs alone? That's money you can spend on something more fun than gas. Plus, by sharing rides, you're contributing to cleaner air. Fewer cars mean fewer emissions, which is better for everyone's health. Another perk of ride-sharing is the social aspect. It's a great way to meet new people and make connections. Some people have even made lifelong friends through their daily commutes. And with the option to choose carpool lanes, ride-sharing can actually make your commute faster. Employers are starting to encourage ride-sharing too. Some companies offer incentives like preferred parking spots for carpoolers or even cash bonuses. Check if your workplace has a ride-sharing program. If not, suggest starting one. It's a win-win for both employees and the environment. Safety is a top priority for ride-sharing apps. Most platforms have features like GPS tracking and driver ratings to ensure a safe experience. It's always a good idea to share your ride details with a friend or family member. This way, someone always knows where you are. Ride sharing isn't just for work commutes. It's also great for events and social outings. Going to a concert or a game? Share a ride and split the cost with friends. It's cheaper and more fun than going alone. Plus, you don't have to worry about finding a parking spot or being the designated driver. Chapter 3: Electric Dreams, Embracing EVs for Daily Commutes. Electric vehicles, EVs, are transforming the way we commute. These cars run on electricity instead of gasoline, reducing greenhouse gas emissions by up to 50%. According to the International Energy Agency, there were over 10 million electric cars on the road in 2020, and that number is growing fast. Switching to an EV can save you a lot on fuel costs. On average, charging an electric car costs about half as much as fueling a traditional car. Plus, EVs have fewer moving parts, so maintenance is cheaper and less frequent. You can say goodbye to oil changes. Charging infrastructure is expanding rapidly. There are now over 100,000 public charging stations in the US alone. Apps like PlugShare and ChargePoint make it easy to find a charging station near you. Some workplaces and shopping centers even offer free charging as an incentive. Many governments offer incentives to encourage the switch to electric. In the US, you can get a federal tax credit of up to $7,500 for buying a new EV. Some states offer additional rebates and incentives, making EVs more affordable than ever. The range of EVs has improved significantly. Most modern electric cars can travel over 200 miles on a single charge. Models like the Tesla Model S can go even further, with a range of up to 370 miles. For most commuters, this means you only need to charge a few times a week. Charging at home is convenient and cost-effective. Installing a home charging station allows you to charge your car overnight, taking advantage of lower electricity rates. It's like having your own personal gas station in your garage. EVs are also better for the environment. They produce zero tailpipe emissions, which means cleaner air and less pollution. This is especially important in urban areas, where air quality can be a significant concern. Cleaner air means fewer health issues like asthma and heart disease. Another benefit of EVs is their quiet operation. Electric motors are much quieter than internal combustion engines, reducing noise pollution in cities. Imagine a city with less honking and more peaceful streets. It's a nice thought, isn't it? Driving an EV can also be fun. Electric motors provide instant torque, which means quick acceleration and a smooth, responsive driving experience. Many drivers find EVs more enjoyable to drive than traditional cars. Plus, with features like regenerative braking, you can recover energy while you drive. Chapter 4: Public Transport Perks, the Smart Commuter's Choice. Public transportation is a smart and sustainable commuting option. It helps reduce traffic congestion, lowers emissions, and is often more affordable than driving. In cities like Tokyo, over 90% of the population uses public transport daily. Imagine the impact if more cities adopted this trend. Using public transport can save you a lot of money. The average American spends about $9,000 a year on car ownership, including fuel, maintenance, and insurance. In contrast, a monthly public transport pass can cost as little as $70. That's a significant saving. Public transport also helps reduce stress. Instead of dealing with traffic and finding parking, you can relax, read a book, or even catch up on some sleep. Many people find their commutes more enjoyable and productive when using public transport. Modern public transport systems are becoming more efficient and reliable. Innovations like real-time tracking apps allow you to see when the next bus or train is arriving, so you're never left waiting in the dark. Cities like London and Singapore are leading the way with smart transport systems. Public transport is also safer than driving. According to the National Safety Council, riding the bus is 23 times safer than driving a car. Trains and subways are even safer, with far fewer accidents per passenger mile. So, you can feel good about your choice from a safety perspective. Investing in public transport infrastructure creates jobs and boosts the economy. Every $1 billion invested in public transportation supports and creates more than 50,000 jobs. Plus, it stimulates local economies by increasing accessibility and mobility. For those concerned about the environment, public transport is a clear winner. A full bus can take 40 cars off the road, significantly reducing CO2 emissions. Trains are even more efficient, with some electric trains producing zero emissions if powered by renewable energy sources. Public transport is also inclusive. It provides mobility for those who cannot drive, such as the elderly, disabled, and low-income individuals. This promotes social equity and ensures everyone has access to essential services and opportunities. To make the most of public transport, plan your route in advance. Apps like City Mapper and Transit provide real-time information and help you find the fastest routes. If you're new to public transport, start with shorter trips to get comfortable with the system. Chapter 5. Walking Wonders, Rediscovering the Joy of Foot Travel. Walking is a simple and effective way to reduce your carbon footprint. It's the most eco-friendly commute option, producing zero emissions. Walking a mile burns about 100 calories and keeps you fit without the need for a gym membership. Plus, it's a great way to clear your mind and enjoy the outdoors. Did you know that the average American walks only about 3,000 to 4,000 steps a day? Experts recommend aiming for 10,000 steps daily for optimal health. Incorporating walking into your commute can help you reach this goal. Walking can also lower your risk of chronic diseases like heart disease and diabetes. Urban planning is embracing walkability. Cities like Copenhagen and Amsterdam have extensive pedestrian zones and encourage walking as a primary mode of transport. These cities report lower pollution levels and healthier, happier residents. Investing in good walking shoes can make a big difference. Look for shoes that provide support and cushioning to keep your feet comfortable on long walks. Mapping out your route in advance can help you find the safest and most enjoyable paths. Apps like Map My Walk and Google Maps can guide you through pedestrian-friendly routes. If your destination is too far to walk the whole way, consider walking part of the journey and using public transport for the rest. This hybrid approach is both practical and eco-friendly. Walking is free and doesn't require any special equipment, making it accessible to everyone. It's also a great way to explore your neighborhood and discover new places. You might find a new coffee shop, park, or scenic spot you never knew existed. Safety is important, especially if you're walking at night. Wear bright or reflective clothing and stay in well-lit areas. Carrying a small flashlight or using your phone's flashlight can also be helpful. Walking with a friend or a group can make the experience more enjoyable and safe. It's a great way to socialize and catch up while getting your steps in. If you have a dog, taking them for a walk is a win-win. They get exercise, and so do you. Plus, it's a wonderful bonding activity. Walking can also be meditative. It allows you to disconnect from screens and reconnect with nature. Many people find walking helps them think more clearly and come up with creative ideas. Consider listening to audiobooks or podcasts to make your walk even more enjoyable. It's a great way to learn something new while commuting. Chapter 6. Alternative Wheels, Unconventional Eco-Commute Options. If you're looking for a fun and unique way to commute, consider alternative wheels like scooters, skateboards, or inline skates. These options are eco-friendly, cost-effective, and add a bit of excitement to your daily routine. Electric scooters have become particularly popular in urban areas. They're quick, convenient, and produce no emissions. Companies like Bird and Lime offer easy rental options in many cities. A study by the National Association of City Transportation Officials found that Americans took 86 million trips on shared scooters in 2019. That's a lot of cars off the road. Riding a scooter or skateboard is also great exercise. It engages your core muscles and improves balance. Plus, it's just plain fun. Before you hit the streets, make sure you're familiar with local regulations. Some cities have specific lanes or areas designated for scooters and skateboards. Wearing protective gear like helmets and pads is crucial for safety. Falls can happen, but the right gear can prevent serious injuries. Learning to ride a skateboard or inline skates can be a fun challenge. There are plenty of tutorials online to help beginners get started. Once you get the hang of it, you'll find it's an efficient way to get around. These alternative wheels are perfect for short commutes. They're compact and easy to carry, so you can combine them with public transport. Electric unicycles and hoverboards are also gaining popularity. They might look futuristic, but they're practical and efficient for short distances. They can travel at speeds up to 15 miles per hour and are easy to charge. For longer commutes, consider an electric bike or scooter. They offer the same benefits as their manual counterparts but with a bit of extra power for those longer journeys. Safety is key, especially if you're sharing the road with cars. Always be aware of your surroundings and follow traffic rules. Using bike lanes and paths whenever possible can make your commute safer and more enjoyable. Maintaining your equipment is important too. Regularly check the brakes, wheels, and batteries to ensure everything is in working order. A well-maintained scooter or skateboard will last longer and perform better.